me start recording. Yeah, so for the sampling, of course, we had discussed this during our previous classes, and we were able to differentiate between the population and the what? And the sample. Okay, we said now the population, it's the entire group at study, okay, or the entire group which you are studying, maybe to get what? Some information and conclusion from it, okay. Then on the on the other hand, we have what we call sample data. And for sample now data, it's like a specific group, okay, or a specific data drawn from the population, okay. And this acts as what? Acts as the like, it represents the whole what? The whole population. The information which we get, it represents the whole population. And remember, during the central limit theorem, SLT, we say that that is the greater, okay, the what? The n, towards all the more we increase the sample size towards the population size, okay, the more we get more information, okay, or attributes and characteristics about what? About the population, okay. And at some point, the sample mean population will approach sorry, the sample mean will approach what? Will approach the population mean. Then we have now something we call sampling frame. Okay, so what is sampling frame? Okay, let's assume maybe you want to go and do a research about maybe your company, okay, all employees, okay. You know where you can get maybe the data of all your employees, okay. Yeah, so with that, the source, it's like not actually the source, but it's the actual data, okay, where we will draw the sample data from, okay. So like in a population, maybe in your company, we want to know maybe people satisfaction in terms of working environment, and we have maybe 1,000 employees in your company, okay. So you will need now to randomly or to get a sample of those employees. Maybe you need a sample of those employees in terms of the names, those you will what? You will interview, okay. So sampling frame is the actual list of interviews, that is of individuals that the sample will be drawn that is from. So if you're having a list of 100 people, definitely who will be having this list is the HR. Maybe we have HR what? Database, HRDB database. Okay, so now the HR database, it's a what? It's our sampling frame. Why? Because it's from that database we'll get the sample list of people who will what? We will interview. Okay. Yes, so the sampling frame is the actual list of individuals that the sample will be drawn from. Ideally, it should include the entire target population, that is anybody who is to be what? Interviewed. All the people who are working in that company. Like for example, the sampling frame, you are doing a research on working conditions at a social media marketing company, okay. Your population is 1,000, okay, in your company. So your sampling frame will be company's HR database. Why? Because it's the database with the list of all the people, so which lists the names and contacts of every what? Of every employee. So you'll be able now to pull out a sample from that list. So sampling frame, it's where now that is the actual list where you will pull what? You will pull your sample. Then we have probability sampling method. This was the point of our focus because we need now to know the different types of what? Sampling methods. Okay. So probability sampling. So probability sampling means that every member of the population has a chance of being selected. Yes, if we are saying that something is what? That is, it's probabilistic. It means that everyone has the same chance of being selected. Okay, everyone has the same chance of being selected. So it is mainly used in quantitative research, whereby quantitative research meaning it's where you are dealing with what? With numbers. Okay. Yes, so if you want to produce the results that are representative of the whole population, probability sampling techniques are the most valid what? Valid choice. And then we have four types of probability sampling. Okay, let's come with now the random, that is the simple random sampling. So simple randomly, that is random sampling, meaning we are doing what? We are selecting people randomly. Okay, randomly. We don't have any maybe outstanding factor which will make someone to do what? To be selected. Okay, so this is based on the what? That is a random selection. So in simple random sample, every member of the population has an equal chance of being selected, which is very correct. Why? Because you can choose anyone. Okay, so the probability of choosing the other person, it's the same as probability of choosing you. We are not gauging maybe that is or we are not including any factors like in terms of experience or in terms of maybe if we were to do that is the work environment survey. Okay, you won't go maybe to the management, you'll also you go to the what? To the juniors. Okay, because if you go to the that is seniors only, you will be biased. Okay, you'll be biased in your research. So here you are going to select randomly, you can choose anyone. Okay, and the probability of selecting every member is what? Is the same. So your sampling frame should include the what? A whole population. So to conduct this type of sampling, you can use tools like random number generators or that is or other techniques in what? That are based uh, entirely on what? On a chance. Like for example, let's assume we have 100 people here. Okay, we have 100 people. All right, and out of these 100 people, we want to select random. Okay, random people. We want to select the that is random people. So with that, maybe you can, if you have the data in Excel, you can try to random, that is to do a random. We have a rad, we have rad. Okay, random, whereby under random we want what? That is even that is under random, you can see random returns that is number greater than or equal to what? To 0 and less than what? 1, evenly distributed. So rand between. So with that we'll do, you now use random between. We have that is a random between what? Between now our total employees. Like for example, we want to random between what? Between 100 and what? We have bottom between 1 and what? 100. Between 1 and 100. Okay, so with that we can randomize and get what? like let's say 10 people. Yes.
Okay. Kindly repeat why you used random between and not just random.
So rand, okay, it's like you are being specific, like it's like one. You want to only randomize what? To randomize one value, okay? You want to randomize one value, but maybe I want to get a random, okay, between what? Maybe between a certain values. Like for example, I want to get maybe a random uh, people, okay. I want to randomly select people, okay, and the people who I want to that is to randomize, okay. I have like more than what? More than 20 people. Okay. So I want to randomize between 1 to what? To 100 people. That's why you can see we are saying between. But if we want to just select one person, we want to exactly select one person. That's when now you will go with what? With the rad. Rad specifically, it will give you like one person, okay. But random between, it will help me get maybe like for example, now I've randomized between what? Between 100 people, okay, to only get 15 people. So you can see I can get the 38th person, I can get the 79th person, I can get the 97th person, I can get the 84th person. At least I have what? A random selection of what? Of 15 people out of a total list of 100. So with that, you will be able to generate that is a random, okay, between what? Random number or random sample between maybe a population of 1 to what? To 100 people. Okay, I hope that is clear. So like for example, symbol random sampling, you want to select a sample random of 1,000 people of that is of a social media marketing company. You assign a number to every employees the way we have assigned numbers. Like let's say this is employee one has taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have that is randomized what? We have given like labels, or we have given each employees a number, okay. So that's what we did. So you assign a number to every employee in the what? In the Kanban database, from 1 to what? To 1,000. And use a random number generator to select what? To select 100 members, okay. Like for my case, I used random between to select what? 15 people. So in this case, I will select the 38th, the 79th, the 13th, the 8 that is the 80th person, that way, okay. So with that case, you can see I've been able to generate what? A sample from what? From the population. That's all about sample. That is simple random sampling. Unless maybe you have a question. I think that is direct to the point. All right. Let's now continue. Let's go to the second example. And the second example now, it is the systematic what? Systematic sampling. Okay. So this is the systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is similar to random sampling, but it is usually slightly easier to do what? It is usually slightly easier to select. Okay, so in this case, we usually use intervals. Okay, we usually use intervals. Like for example, the way maybe let's say we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We might decide now to go with the even numbers. Okay, we might decide now to go with person in number 2, person in number the 4, person in number 6, person in number 8, person in number what? In number 10. And you can see with between them we have an interval. An interval of what? 2. Okay, so if I go with the first 2, then plus 2, I will go to 4. Plus 2, I will go to 6. Plus 2, I will go to 8. So this is called systematic sampling. Okay, that's why we are saying it is easier to conduct. Though may act to, it's kind of similar to the simple random sampling. So systematic sampling is similar to simple random sampling, but it is usually slightly easier to conduct. Every member of population is listed with a number, but instead of randomly generating the numbers, individuals are chosen at a regular what? Interval. So you can see we have a regular interval of 2. So all employees are listed in alphabetical order. From the first 10 numbers, you randomly select maybe a starting point. Like, for example, we might decide to start at 2. Okay, then go with what? An interval of 2. So you may start from 6 onwards, and every 10th person on the list is selected. So you can see here we are adding 10, so meaning we will take the 16th person, so on. Okay, until maybe you get a sample, that is a sample which you need. Okay, a sample size which you need. So that's so direct. Let's go now to stratified sampling. Okay, this might be trickier, but we are going to explain it. Okay, so for stratified sampling involves dividing the population into subpopulation. Okay, that may differ in important ways. It allows you to draw more precise conclusion by ensuring that every subgroup is properly represented in the sample. Good. I'll give you an example. So these groups are known as subgroups are known as what? Strata. Based on the what? Relevant characteristics. Maybe it might be gender, it might be age, it might be income bracket, it can be what? Job role. Okay? Like for example, in your department, we have 1,000, maybe we have 100 what? Employees. And we have how many department? We have a department of HR. We have operations department. We have what else? Quality department. Okay. We have maybe a transport department. Okay. So with this, now let's assume we are having how many? Let's say we have 10 HR specialists. We have 15 operations. We have maybe that is this was what? This was quality. So maybe we have 20 from quality team. So this is a total of what? 35, 55, and maybe from transport we have 45. So these groups, subgroups now of the what? Of the total employees are what? They are called stratas. Okay? So with that, we are going now, maybe we want our objective is to know That is, if the working environment, it's what? It's fair, it's good for us. Okay, it's good for us. So what I'll do, I'll get some few people from HR department, few people from operations department, few people from quality department, and few people from what? Transport department. That's what we are saying. Why? It allows you to draw more precise conclusion by ensuring that every group is properly presented in the what? In the sampled data. So, based on the overall proportion of the company, you calculate how many people should be sampled from what? From each group. Okay. So, like for example, we can go with the like the total population. Okay. So we have that is what? We have 100 people. Okay, so with this we can decide maybe to get if we want a total of what, a total of 10 people. We need a total of 10 people from this group. So with that, first of all, you'll find the ratio. So let's assume this will be what, uh, 10 divided by what? 10 divided by 100 will present what? Will give us 10%. So here we'll have 10%, okay, of the population. Here will be 20% of the sample. And here we need what? 45 over 20. That is 45 over 100. You can create, maybe you can calculate that percentage. Okay. Yes. So if we establish those percentages, okay, now this ratio is the one which we will use now to divide what? To divide our sample. That is our sample. Okay. Let's say maybe we need a total sample of what? Of 20 people. Okay. So we'll take 10% of the 20 will go to what? 10% of the 20 will go to or will come from HR. Okay. So 10% of 20 is 2. So we'll need 2 people from HR. We'll need 4 people from quality. We'll need also maybe another a number of people from this and a number of people from this. So this total should give you what? Should give you this 20. Okay. So with that, you'll have that is gotten like a percentage of what? Of each group. So maybe in terms of an example, the population has 800 female employees and 200 male employees. You want to ensure that the sample reflects what? A gender balance. So it's like this is like 80-20 ratio. 80-20 ratio. 80%, 20%. Okay, meaning at the end you will get what? You will need 80 people here, okay, who are female, and 20 people who are what? Who are male. Maybe let's try and see that. If at all you want a total sample size of what? 100 people. So you'll use 80, 20 what? Let's say 80%, 20% of the what? Of the numbers. So you want to ensure that the sample reflects the gender balance of the company. So you sort that is the population into two stratas on the gender. Then you use the random sampling on each group, selecting 80 from what? From women and 20 from what? From men. For us to get what? For us to get 100 sample size. What if we wanted a 200 sample size? So you'll get like, so if we want 20, okay, from this, now you will have to get what? Now these ratios. Okay, so it will be
40 for
80%.
men and 60 for women.
Yes, so it will be 1
60 women and then 40 men.
and 40 men, right? So that it may be what? Equal to 200. Very correct. That's the logic behind it. The point is you divide now, that is your population, into what? Into stratas, depending with different characteristics, either age bracket, either gender or department or job roles. Yeah, depending with your choice. Okay, right. Now let's go to the last example. I hope we are all together, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so only Walpole and Claire, we are together.
And me too.
Okay, and Brenda, that's okay. The others are sleeping.
Me too.
Nancy, Nancy Bosire, are you cooking or are you with us?
I'm very much with you people.
Okay, so
I'm not cooking. Eh?
so you getting everything, eh?
Everything, soaking it up.
Okay,
Yes, I'm right
Gonka,
here.
we are together. Who else? Salome, are we together? Um, Bow, we lost you. Where did you go? We've not been, you've not been active as we started. Ama mambo ilichemka.
Imechemka kidogo lakini nafanya tizi.
Sawa, make sure you exercise. Okay?
Yeah.
Ni kama watu wengi vitu iliwachemkia. Samuel, are we together?
Yes, we are, Mr. Abraham.
Ama unakoroga kasembe hapo kando ukitupa macho tu kwa class?
Nasoma tuko pa.
Okay. So then, Salome, Venetia, hope we are all together, right? Okay, let's continue. Now we are on the last point. Of course, I know you are tired, but at least today we are finishing on this topic and also on this class. So, yeah, it's a good thing. So, let's go to cluster sampling. That's our last what? That's our last example of probability sampling methods. So, what about cluster? So, first of all, don't confuse that is cluster sampling and that is stratified sampling. They might look the same because here we'll have to do what? We'll have to divide that is our population into what? Into subgroups. Okay, but let's check what it says. So cluster sampling also involves dividing the population into subgroups, but each group should have similar characteristics to the whole what? To the whole sample. Okay, instead of sampling individual from each group, you randomly select entire what? Groups. Meaning, like for example, let's assume maybe we have HR group, okay? And we have a group of 100 HRs, okay? And now these HRs, you are going now to group them into what? Into a group of 20, 20, 20, and 20. This is 40, sorry, 80 and 20. So definitely this HR, they should have what? The same that is characteristics. They should have same characteristics, all this. Like if it is maybe in terms of salary bracket, or in terms of what? In terms of title. Okay? Yes. So if it so we are saying that instead of sampling individual from each group, so instead of maybe getting like two people, two people from each group, when we can decide just to get what? One group, and this group will be able now to give us information and conclusion pertaining the information which we want. Okay, that's what it's basically means. Like for stratified, we are taking like a proportion, okay, from each subgroup. But here we are going to use one subgroup to do what? To explain or to give us the information we need. Why? Because they all maybe have the same roles, they all work maybe on the same tasks. Okay, so if it is practically possible, you might include every individual from each sampled cluster. If the cluster themselves are large, you can also sample individuals within those clusters, okay, using one of the techniques maybe which we have discussed. So maybe if you want, maybe this is the sample, maybe we decided to do what? We decided to get one what? One that is a group, subgroup, okay? Let's say we have one subgroup of 20, okay? They all have the same characteristics. They can all give us the information we need. Okay. So we can also decide maybe these 20 people, it's hard for me to go in and interview these 20 people. Okay. I might just need 5 people. So I can also now use the simple random method under the cluster sampling to use what? To get that is to get 5 people who will help me now to do what? To that is in the interviews to get the information which I need. Okay, so that's why we are saying that if the cluster themselves are large, you can also sample individuals from within the cluster using one of the techniques above. So this is called multi-stage sampling. This is called multi-stage sampling. So this method is good for dealing with the large and dispersed population, but there is more risk of error when you are doing what? When you are sampling more. So you might find maybe these people, even if they are under HR, there are some information which maybe they do not have. Okay, so at the end you might get limited what? You might get limited data or information compared to what you wanted. Okay, so as there could be substantial difference between what? The clusters in terms of information delivery. So it's difficult to guarantee that the sampled clusters are really representative of what? Of the whole population. So that's the major disadvantage or drawback of what? Of the cluster sampling. Okay, so an example is that the company has offices in 10 cities across the country, all with roughly the same number of what? Of the employees in similar roles. You don't have the capacity to travel to every office to collect the data. So you use random sampling and select these three offices where you can go and do what? You can go and collect maybe the information you want. So that's an example of what? That's an example of cluster sampling. And that's all about the four sampling. Very very simple and well explained.